I would say that Miss Moore is a very kind teacher. I think that's the first word I would use to describe her. She was my 7th grade English teacher. I was quite the reader, and it was nice to have someone who cared about that at age 12.
I remember just this wide-eyed girl coming into my classroom with this t-shirt on that says, "Women belong in the House and in the Senate."
7th grade, I think it was a really just a hard time. People are very mean in middle school. Every day during lunch, I would sit in Miss Moore's room instead of going to the cafeteria. I think whenever I would talk to Miss Moore about my life, she made it a point to listen and to make sure that I was heard and that I was seen when I was with her. And I think that mattered more than any one thing she could have said.
I remember the book that we really started to talk about. I gave you Dear Martin.
Right.
And
Nick
you
Stone.
gave it back to me with all these Post-it notes. Do you remember
Yes,
the Post-it
I
notes
do.
in the book?
In 7th grade, I didn't know a whole lot about what I thought about the world, but I had a really strong sense of right and wrong. And when things were wrong, I wanted to do something about it. And Dear Martin has kind of prompted so much of my worldview, honestly, even today.
I remember one of your Post-it notes was, "I cannot believe this happened. How can this happen? Why do things like this happen?"
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just question after question after question.
I just saw so much of myself in the being overwhelmed with the world and not knowing what you wanted to do about it, but knowing things were wrong.
And that's when I was like, she's just going to change the world.
Yeah.
Like, she was asking all of the right questions. I feel like that's just what you do as an educator, to make sure that all students in your classroom feel just valued and appreciated and loved and respected. I have watched Kendall just grow up, and I would just have to send her a message. "I see what you're doing. Look at you." And I just felt like just such a sense of pride. It's a beautiful thing to see your students shine and just become like all those things that you saw when they were, feeling not as secure in 7th grade, and here they are blossoming into this really confident leader, and you're like, "I knew it all along. I knew you were going to do it all along." So that's just been the reward. It is my honor, my privilege, and my responsibility to make sure that all students feel like they have a place where they can go and be accepted, but also that they have a person in front of them who sees them and values them and respects them. And what better way to do that than through books and conversation and just being active in their lives. I'm Cassie Owens Moore, and I'm proud to be a public school librarian and a member of the SCEA.